Hey y'all, so today's St. Patrick's Day and I'm headed to New York City to go turn it up. So, you know, your boy need to get it poppin'. So I'm gonna sit down and do a little chit chat, get ready with me. So yeah, let's begin. So I'm gonna start with doing my brows. I like to do my brows before anything else. I'm gonna start with my Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Ebony. Now this actually isn't the darkest one they have. I think the darkest one they have is Graphite or something like that, but to be honest, I feel like if you go too dark, it almost looks unnatural, you know what I'm saying? So I just take, this is the second darkest shade they have, and I just like to go under and kind of just outline the bottom of my lashes. My lashes, these are my eyebrows. So I like to outline the bottom of my brows. I like to go over the top on my right brow. As you can see, I kind of have a cowlick going on in the center here, so I start outlining from where that whole situation stops. And I just like to go in and fill the in-between spaces where it's kind of sparse with little hair-like strokes to kind of mimic the look of having hair there. Thankfully, my brows don't need much help, but you know, bitch, every little bit counts. And then when you're done all that, you want to go ahead and go through it with a spoolie. I would usually go through it with the one on the brow wiz, but as you can see, mine just have a little bit of technical difficulties, but thankfully, I actually have my own spoolie from just way back in the day. Like, I've been using this since high school. She a real one. Just like to take the end that has the brush. You just wanna gently brush through and just feather it out a little bit so it looks a lot less harsh and a lot more natural. And as you can see, that's my brow. So now I'm gonna do the other one and I'll come right back. All right, y'all, so I'm back. As you can tell, both the eyebrows are done. Ooh, I'm glowing. That pimple though, but I'm glowing, bitch, she glowing. Anyways, let me have my moment. So as you can see, my brows are done. I don't know if you can tell, but this one I kind of overlined a little bit on the top, but that's okay. That's why we do it first, so that when you go in with your foundation, you can go ahead and correct that. You hear me? So now we're gonna go ahead and prime our face, and I'm just gonna use the Benefit Professional Primer. And I just like to go ahead and just do a couple lines down my face. I like to do a little bit down the nose, a little bit on each cheek, a little bit on the forehead. And then just anywhere where I have any sort of like breakouts or anything like that, I'll just go ahead and just dot just a little bit on there too, so that the makeup sticks a little better, you know what I'm saying? Want that shit covered up. Just wanna go ahead and take your fingers and just blend that in very gently. When you're doing the under eye area, you wanna go ahead and just use the ring finger because that has the least pressure of any fingers. That skin is delicate, you don't wanna wrinkle or anything. All right, so now that I've went ahead and primed my face, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my first layer foundation. My philosophy with foundation is I don't want full coverage every day. What I look for in a foundation is something that has, you know, light to medium coverage, something that's gonna offer some SPF, something that's just gonna make me look like I didn't just roll out of bed, you know what I'm saying? So the first layer foundation I'm gonna go in with is this Laneige BB cushion in the shade Sand. This one's the hydration one. And I really like this packaging. It's like, she's shiny. But anyways, so this is the shade Sand. This is a Korean brand. I don't know if y'all know anything about Korean makeup brands, but they are notoriously lacking in shade ranges. And I just wanna go ahead and put it out there that this is the second darkest shade. So there's only one shade darker than this. And it's a little light for my skin. I got this in February, you know, it was peak pale season, and it works right now because the other one that I'm gonna go on top of with this is a little bit too dark for my skin, so they kind of cancel each other out, but I'm just putting that out there. This is the kind of shade range we're working with. The application is interesting. So it has this cushion and you just take this pad and you press it down and get the foundation on the brush, on the sponge, and just dot it on your skin. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, it's too light, but if you work it in it, it's kind of doable, but that's okay. It's not the only layer we're gonna do, so I don't care if it doesn't look perfect. I like to go in with this one first because this, I find, is a little bit more moisturizing than the other one I'm gonna use. The other one I'm gonna use is the Super Goop CC Cream. That one does a good job of covering. It's just a little mattifying and it kind of dries not dries my skin out, but it's not moisturizing the way this one is, and I just like to seal in the moisture, y'all. And this one has an SPF of 50 with a PA plus of 3, for those of you that know what that means. If you don't, basically it just means that it's pretty much the best level of UVA and UVB protection you can get. The best part about this is this uses physical sunscreen, so unlike chemical sunscreens which deteriorate and degrade in sunlight, you don't have to worry about reapplying your SPF as much with this. Alright, so as y'all can see, I got my first layer of foundation on. It's actually not that bad. I kind of actually really liked this product when it actually matched my skin tone, but now that I'm a little dark, it just like, I look washed out, but it's alright. We're gonna go in with another product. But I actually really like the coverage of this. As you can see, it doesn't really do a good job of covering up like, as you can see, it doesn't do a good job of covering up actual pimples, but that's okay. Alright, so now I'm gonna go in with my Supergoop CC cream in the color medium to dark, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that with my dirty ass beauty blender. This is a little darker than the first foundation I used, but y'all, I just want to reiterate, this is actually the darkest shade that this product comes in. Let me just show it to you on the sponge before I go ahead and apply that to my face. So I do want to drag them a little bit. Like, y'all could have really done, you know, a little bit better on that shade range, because, you know, SPF. So the whole concept behind Supergoop is it's basically just skincare and makeup, but it's SPF centered, and, you know, people of color need sun protection too. So obviously they have products that, you know, people of color can use, like sunscreens and stuff, but as far as their makeup, y'all have a little bit of work y'all can do with your shade range. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take it on the sponge and just dab it all over my face. Can y'all just see how it kind of warmed up my skin just a little bit? And it just adds just another layer of not only protection, but also coverage, which I really love. I always feel like I'm attacking myself when I use my beauty blender. Be really careful though around the eyebrows. I really like to take my time kind of blending in that area. I like to make sure that I blend over the extra areas that I overline. I'm really careful not to go over the brow itself, because, you know, we did just put in all that effort to make it look good and make it look pop, you know what I'm saying? So, alright, and I think I've covered every square inch of my face that I can. Now, as you can see, even with 2 layers of foundation, we still have some problem areas peeking through, so we gonna cover them bitches up. So I'm taking the Tom Ford concealer in the shade medium. Gonna dot out on the areas that I need more coverage, place on the skin and do a little twist. I don't know, I just feel like it applies a little bit better that way. Y'all, this is sentimental. This is actually my first, I guess, true makeup product I've ever owned, so I like to break her out from time to time. So I'm not really big on concealer. I don't mind, you know, my pimples and stuff popping through, but we're trying to look popping tonight. So I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and blend that out some more. And I don't really like to wash the product off before I do that, because I find that when you blend it in with some products on the sponge, it almost helps it blend more seamlessly into the rest of the foundation, and it makes the color a little bit less crazy if your concealer is not the same as your skin tone. Okay, and now I need to set that all, so I'm gonna go ahead and go on with my Supergoop setting powder in the shade medium. This is basically just setting powder. It comes in a pre-packaged container with a brush on it, and there's a powder in the bottom. And what I really love about this is, like the rest of Supergoop products, there's SPF in it. This has an SPF of 45. So you just want to shake it until you see powder coming off. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set the under eyes. And then I like to do one little extra spritz just all over the rest of my face. Just kind of even out the color, because this is pigmented, and then I'll just take whatever's left over and run all over my makeup. And now, since we just set the makeup, my skin is just a little bit more matte, so I'm gonna go back in and add some more definition with a highlighter. So I'm gonna take this Becca highlighter, which I actually, what shade is it? This is the Becca highlighter in the shade Opal, and I actually just got this with my Sephora points because I'm cheap as shit. So, but the color payoff is nice, so I'm gonna show y'all how this applies. So I just really like to take my ring finger and just go ahead and apply it on the high points of my face. Do a little bit on the tip of the nose. Do a little bit under and over the brow. Look at that glow, honey. Yes, work. I just want to go ahead and finish off by setting my brows with this Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. Just because my eyebrow hairs are kind of long and they be cutting up, so. Alright y'all, that is the finished look. As you can see, we are glowing for the guys. We are tan. We are natural, honey. Yes. We are serving face. We are serving looks. We are a snack. So, alright, let me chill. Yeah, so that's the completed makeup look. As you can see, it's nice, it's glow on top, it's tan, I'm popping. So, if you like this makeup look, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.